Well, today we're here at the ABC meeting in Weslaco, hometown of our district office here in the Rio Grande Valley in the Hidalgo County area. And we're just talking with a lot of stakeholders here, a lot of members of ABC, and just talking about their needs and their goals and just what they're doing here in the community.
One of the topics you brought up, I was really interested in, and that is your efforts in your first session. And you passed legislation to get the different groups in the valley to work regionally, to collaborate. And I think it was in terms of water and infrastructure, maybe drainage. But if you could explain that bill and the importance of it and what it does.
You bet. So that bill is Senate Bill 1169 that I authored. Representative Ryan Guillen sponsored it in the House side, helped me get that through, and Governor Abbott signed it into law. So it became law September 1st. It's a bill that allows for and actually promotes utilizing and taking advantage of economies of scale. So a lot of smaller regions that don't have, or smaller municipalities that don't have the ability to fund these large infrastructure projects like new water supply or even wastewater treatment plants or flood mitigation. There are a lot of big projects here in the Rio Grande Valley that we could actually work together on. So the key here is collaboration. With collaboration, you can set up a public utility agency through Senate Bill 1169. And again, it allows for economies of scale. Everybody can participate. It has to be at least two political subdivisions of the state that can create one, but as many other governmental entities that want to join can. It also allows for P3 agreements, which are public-private partnerships, to enter into these formations. And all that allows for everybody to collaborate on these big, expensive projects. And what happens when you have spread that out with more ratepayers, the costs come down. So that's a way to scale up projects, but scale down cost. And so it's a very innovative bill. There's a lot of great things we put in there, like also allowing for NADBank funding, which is here in our Rio Grande Valley. We qualify for that funding on a federal level, and it allows for you to exit out cleanly. But what it doesn't do is kills the project. So a lot of times when you have turnover in council or other governmental entities where you have newly electeds that come in and they want to change the course of the project, they're able to exit out of the PUA, but it does not impact the overall project. All they do is they take their pro rata share of their debt that they pledged for that project, and they can exit cleanly. So it doesn't impact the overall project. So it's a great, very, very intricate, strong tool that we're going up and down the region right now to teach everybody how to use, how to create. And, it's a great tool that will help, I believe, for our flood mitigation, our flooding issues here in the Rio Grande Valley, and our water supply.
I guess previously, before the legislation passed, these municipalities could work together if they wished, but on a voluntary basis. This makes it just more solid and gives some legislative backbone to it, that they can work together and have perhaps more safeguards. Where did you get the idea from? Was that correct?
Yes, actually, the whole premise of the idea was on our flooding issues here in the Rio Grande Valley. So talking to a lot of the stakeholders, I was literally in a round table discussion in Harlingen with the irrigation districts and flooding districts, drainage districts. And they were telling me their frustration of not being able to solve the flooding issues here in the Rio Grande Valley because it transcends from Hidalgo County through Cameron to the Gulf of America, where it transcends county lines, city lines, irrigation and drainage district lines. And so everybody's trying to fix their small portion, jurisdictional portion of the problem on their own. But depending on what their neighbor does, it could create more of a problem. Really, the way to fix that is to fix it all together, engineer it all together, and then fund it all together. And that's what's great about this bill, is it allows you to stand up that PUA, and the PUA is the one that goes for the funding. So a lot of times when they're going to the state of Texas through the Water Development Board to ask for grants or low interest loans, all those applications are ranked. One of the ranking criteria is how many people does it impact? Well, if you're the city of Alamo, that's only 12,500 people. But if you've collaborated with the county of Hidalgo and perhaps county of Cameron and all the cities and municipalities in between, well, now you're over 1 million people. And now we can compete for the funding against Houston, Dallas, El Paso, Austin, all the bigger metropolitan areas that we always lose funding to because we just don't do it together. This is the tool to formally make that happen. Everybody pays their pro rata share. It, you're taking advantage of economies of scale. It's a wonderful tool to be able to solve our flooding problems, even our wastewater treatment plants, our water supply issues, a lot of those big infrastructure needs that we have that individual cities just, it's too hard for them to carry on their backs alone.
You mentioned that you're going up and down the valley educating folks about it. What's been the feedback so far?
Everybody loves it. They're just very intrigued by it. And again, this can only work, though, through collaboration. So our message has been, you've got to be willing to work together with your neighbors, with those that are have common interests and goals. PUAs are very project specific. So first step is identifying what the need is, and then getting your partners together that will benefit from solving that need, and then we can stand up a PUA and we can get going.
Those are all the questions I had on that specific topic. Is there anything else you're working on at the moment you'd like to tell the viewers about?
Well, we're working on a lot of things. Really, my role on the Water, Ag, and Rural Affairs Committee is securing water supply. So that's a big part of my Senate Bill 1169. We're also working with the governor's office now on other ways. Some of the expensive part of those marine desal operations are intake and discharge. It's almost a third of the entire cost of those big projects. So we're working with the governor's team now to try to find innovative, out-of-the-box ways to fund those, maybe through the state. And, again, bring costs down for the ratepayers, because it's always put on the backs of our ratepayers, and we're trying to not do that. So we know we need the water. There's no question, as more people come to Texas with our business-friendly policy, as more industry comes because of our major ports and SpaceX and all of the various assets that we have, especially in my senatorial district, then we need to solve these issues, but we can't put it all on the backs of our citizens. So we've got to find these ways where everybody can participate and resolve these issues. So we're actively doing that. We're still trying to concentrate on creating more of a business-friendly environment for us, reducing regulations, reducing our taxation. Those are all things that we're working on. And it takes a little bit more than just saying it. We've got to actually come up with the plans and put it into practice. But so we're working nonstop trying to figure those very intricate issues out. But we're up for the 10th.